have on a lovely lady called Stella Bida, who's going to be telling us about her story and how she actually managed to keep to her goals. Welcome to the show, Stella.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here today.
We have a very special guest who's joined us in the studio. My producer Shwe described her as a serial entrepreneur, a woman who's got a fascinating backstory. She's from the Central African Republic, born there in Cameroon, lives in Brussels, studied in Paris. She's an entrepreneur herself. Stella Bida is her name, and she's with us in the studio. It's so good to chat to you, Stella. Good morning.
Good morning, David. Very good.
Stella Bida. Stella Bida.
That's Stella Bida, being awarded by the Minister of State in Belgium and the former president of Mali. Just a few months ago, she was struggling in her life and her business. Now Stella speaks internationally, from the US to Europe and Africa. And she is recognized across the world for her impact and her work. Stella has met some of the world's most influential leaders. Her philosophy is simple when it comes to success. Everybody deserves it. Here is the story of Stella Bida.
I met Stella in Belgium, and it is extremely difficult sometimes for a black African woman or black African male immigrating to Europe and start from nothing from Central Africa and turn into one of the top client experience strategists. Now, we bonded, actually, at first, she lives in Belgium, but we first met in Amsterdam, her and her husband. And we both speak French, because I speak French fluently, having been from Montreal, Canada. My mom was French, my dad was English. And when I met her, we instantly kind of like hit it off. And sometimes it's my advantage, especially in countries in Africa where they speak French, I have an advantage. And so we hit it off. And I said to her, it would be amazing for you to come to South Africa because all the way from Central Africa to Europe, to Belgium, to Amsterdam. I met her in Paris. I met her at Mega Success, and she is now here today. She is an amazing, not only she had a giant smile, but what I like about her, she's got an absolute giant heart. Please welcome my friend, Stella.
And I really love Stella, not only because her story is inspiring, but she's dominating a very male dominated sector, and I'm very proud of what she has achieved so far.
I followed the path. I followed the template that the society had given to me as a guarantee of a successful life. I went to school. I found a job. I founded a family. I bought a house. But at the end, I did not feel that fulfillment. I was looking for something else. I was not aligned with myself. And I had the responsibility to find what would fulfill me in life and in business. In that quest for what will make me happy, I started to figure out and find out that actually when I wanted something, I always went back and reverted to people to get their approval, to get the permission to have what I really wanted. And the worst thing was that most of the time, everybody told me that it was not possible. I was like dreaming. It was not for this world. It was never the right time. I did not have the right circumstances. And the worst thing is having the excuse or people telling me that, Stella, you're just not born on the right side. You're just not born with the right attributes. Stella, because you're black, you will never make it in your life. And that really hit me. I knew I had to do something about it. As a matter of fact, I remember very well that when I started my career, I was so young, so excited, and so enthusiastic of starting this new life, this new career. When I started, I remember that experience when I had one of my managers who was telling me straight in front of me that I would never get my client. I would never get my corporate clients because I was being too African. He told me I had to forget about the deal because of my color. And when you have somebody you look up to, when you have a manager, somebody who's supposed to motivate you, to lead you to your very best, who tells you that you will never ever make it because of something that you cannot control, that's devastating. I was frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And years went by, even though I had a successful career finally. As the years went by and passed, I realized that there was something missing. And that sentence, people telling you that you cannot make it for something that you cannot control, it finished with my body, my health being hit. And I remember that moment, that when I was down, no more energy for Stella. Stella who could do everything, who could do it, and who can succeed in what she would start. I had no more battery, no more energy. And from that moment, everything began. And I started to act myself on my own success. I understood from that moment that I had to do something. I made the decision to not let the circumstances control me. I made the decision to fix two things in my life and in my business. And from that moment, I understood that I did not need the validation or the confirmation from anybody to go towards what I wanted. I decided to create my own success. I remember one day my husband coming back at home and he told me, Stella, I have something for you. There's a conference which is organized by a company called Success Resources, and it's in London. And I said, okay, let's go for it. So we went to London, and I arrived in this room, a conference where there were 300 people aligned on the same thing around success fulfillment. I was amazed because I was like, wow, I'm not the only one looking for that. I'm not an alien, so I'm not an alien. And I was so happy. And during the conference, I remember there was one speaker who really triggered something in my head. And that speaker said, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And I remember very well when he said that, I correlated it with the decision I made of creating my own success. And I told myself, if it's meant to be, if that success is supposed to happen, I have to do something. I'm in charge. And that speaker was the #1 wealth coach. That speaker was JT Foxx. From that moment, everything changed. That's when I understood the power of investing in yourself, taking time to reach what you want in life. And back then, investing in myself required investment, it required money, and I didn't have the money back then. And when I think about it, where did you find it? How did you do that investment? The thing is that I wanted success so bad. I wanted to create that success without any permission, that I found the solutions which were required in order to get there. And that sentence was still there. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Solutions were there. After that conference, it all started. I decided to do something right away. I did not want to wait. I remember I made an overview, of what I can do today in order to go towards what I wanted. And I said, okay, I will build a business with what I have today. And back then, I remember I was working in the hair and beauty industry with trainings and coaching in order to support and help business owners in that industry to expand their business. What I proposed in the hair and beauty industry, the coaching and supporting hairdressers, it was so innovative that media started to reach out and asking me for interviews in order to know what I was doing. And as I was sharing that experience, I also went into a competition via the Afropreneur Awards that I won. And when I won the Afropreneur Awards, I remember somebody in the jury said, a member of the jury told me, he said, "Stella, why limit yourself only to the hair and beauty industry? I know that you can actually impact more people by expanding what you're doing into other industries." And that sentence, I did not take it to start acting months after. No, I started to act on that sentence right away. And that's when I started coaching and training entrepreneurs, not only in the hair and beauty industry, but in multiple industries. First, it all started with JT Foxx, who invited me, so the wealth coach who triggered everything. He invited me to come in South Africa. And I was there sharing my strategies in front of an audience of more than 1,500 people. And from there, I actually shared also my strategies. I remember the day after, actually, on TV on SABC News. And from South Africa, I went to Oslo, still sharing these strategies. And from Oslo, I went to Paris. From Paris, I went to Amsterdam. And then it just started to go. And I was sharing my business strategies worldwide. And then I got invited to share the stage with diverse celebrities and thought leaders, and I went to New York, where I shared my stage with Les Brown. I went to Nigeria to an innovation summit in Nigeria. I went to all these countries with always the same purpose: sharing business strategies, sharing successful fulfillment strategies, so that other people can reach what I am going towards to much faster than me and avoid wasting time. During that journey, as I was meeting people and impacting people with these different strategies, I got awarded multiple times. I got awarded in Belgium, for example, in presence of the Minister of State of Belgium and in presence of the former President of Mali during the Crans-Montana Forum. I also got awarded in London, for example, at the Houses of Parliament in presence of a member of Parliament. I also got awarded in Africa, in Nigeria, during that Innovation Summit. And so I got multiple awards, which just shows that when you go towards what you want, you put in that investment, you get recognized. Not only that, but you impact so many people that things start happening. During this international journey, I met so many people, so many companies, so many brands, which are now actually my partners. As an example, I met Mirella Sula, who is the founder and CEO of the Global Women Club. And when she asked me to be the director in Brussels of the club, I naturally said yes. I was honored because it was 100% aligned with what I wanted. I wanted to inspire other people at creating their own success, just as I did, so that they could find that fulfillment. I myself, I've been inspired by reading the success of other people. And I understood, therefore, that it was my responsibility to also write down what I had experienced. And that's how I co-authored multiple books, which are actually best-selling books. And I now share my strategies, my success story, my own experience in these books internationally. For the next years, what do I want? For the next years, I want to continue impacting the maximum of people on stages with thousands of people and share with them these strategies. I want them to get to the success that they want much quicker than me, much faster than me. I don't want them to spend the time that I spent. I don't want them to waste the time that I wasted. So that's why I'm traveling all around the world to reach these people and impact them. I truly believe in the role of role models, because I've been inspired by role models. And When I travel the world internationally sharing these strategies, I have one purpose in mind. It's to create other role models. Create other role models internationally, because I know how important they are towards that success. To the young girl, the little Stella I was, there was one thing I want to tell her. Live your life fully. You can do it.